Kalani Flores and Lady Ipo Kahaunaele Ferreira are two talented local musicians who love to share Hawaiian music. They've performed together in past several years at the Hanalei Bay Resort and at numerous festivals and concerts on Kauai. At the annual Kauai Mokihana Festival, they have won awards for their compositions, and they also played music during the festival's hula competitions. At countless local concerts, parties, and weekend jam sessions, Kalani and Lady Ipo have blended their voices in classic Hawaiian melodies, original songs, and some jazz favorites. Their love of music and performing have led them to long, interesting careers on Kauai, Oahu, the mainland, Canada, and in Japan. When we asked them to be part of this documentary on Hawaiian backyard music, they eagerly agreed because that's the kind of music that they love to play, and they have many fond memories of just hanging out with family and friends playing music. They still do it whenever they can, although Kalani's health has declined and Ipo has dedicated herself to pastoral work at her church, Ke Akua Mana. Let's listen to a few of their musical stories, to some Hawaiian classics, and to some of Kalani and Lady Ipo's original songs. Garrett Santos, Pancho Graham added their harmonies and instruments to this great session of music and talk story.
But I enjoy music. I've been playing it about 40 years, and music is my first love. Without music, I think I wouldn't be around here. Let's see, when I first started music, I must have been about 9 or 10 years old, and I was living in Kahulu on the island of Oahu. And every Saturday mornings at the old Kaneohe Theater, there is Mickey Mouse clubs, and they had amateur contests. Went down, and the first couple times I watched all the amateur contests, and I said, I can do that. So I took my little trusty ukulele one Saturday, went to the movies, and won my first contest. And I won a big cake and a case of soda. And everybody in the theater had a ball. Then they had an amateur contest at the Kaneohe Park by the Kaneohe Lions Club and the Hongwan G. So I said, I can enter that. So I took my ukulele and auditioned. I made the audition. And the first song I sang was a Chattanooga Shoeshine Boy. Have you ever passed the corn around the 14 grand? Well, I won first prize. But in 1951, my dad and I moved to the Big Island, up in Waimea. My dad started his ranch on Hawaiian Homes land. And I never played music for a while, you know. I sang, but when I went to Waimea Elementary and Intermediate School, I started a group, a bebop group, you know, doo-wop and all that. And we called ourselves the Crusaders. And we did church gigs, school gigs, you know, small parties here and there. And all I wanted to do is sing. Went home, then I came back to Honolulu. Then there was an audition for a singer and instrumental player with John Pilani Watkins. And my wife said, go try. So I went and tried. And when I got there, I had over 300 entertainers. There was 3 days of audition. The second day, I auditioned. He asked me to come back the next night. I came back. Then I made the audition, not knowing that he and I was cousins, John Pilani Watkins. Then that's when I started writing music. But I played with Mara English Trio for a long time. When Mara, myself, Billy Hulan started. And then Sonny came inside Sonny Chillingworth. Then I played with Sonny for a long time. And played with the Nanakuli Sons for a long time. And then, you know, then music was my life. Going from this group to next group, helping people. I mean, and now I'm with Ipo Kahaunaele Ferreira Resort. Music was really something for me.
When you wrote Silver Sword, Dawaneda, Silver Swords was a classic, still is, especially for vocalists, groups with multiple voices. Was there any other songs that you had written before that had gotten as popular as Silver Swords?
Yeah, the first song that I've ever written, I was living in a tent at my auntie's house in the backyard, my wife and my kids. And then one evening, Hawaiians, when they eat, they poetic salmon, cube salmon, and then Auntie Irene was made there for dinner for us. And just after the puli, I went stand up, I went in the bed, in the back bedroom. I grabbed my ukulele, and I was thinking of the daughter that I don't have. I have a daughter from out of wedlock, and I've always thought her name would be Kaleo Kalani. So I wrote that song in the back bedroom. It took me about 10 or 15 minutes. Kaleo Kalani, your eyes shine like the stars in the skies. Your cheeks are like rubies with eternal beauty forevermore. Your soft whispers comes not to part. Sigh murmurs from the sea within my
How has the music changed in your eyes from that time to now, this generation?
The music that we did back then, I think was more nahi type music, more mellow, more sweet with these voices. I personally miss that sound. They don't have this sound. The type of music we were playing before with Buddy Fordham or Billy Dem or Lalise. You don't get this kind of music no more. The music of back then, that was music. I love Kaleo Kalani you.
Woo!
One thing in being with Kalani Flores, as he talked about the voices, blending the many voices together to make it nahi nahi, and that's what Kalani has took me, a very titterilla, a very, I just wanted to be on the stage and just wail. Well, he turned me in, he put the lady part and made my sound very round, and then helped us build voices around each other to get to the style that he was used to. And he tried to teach me parts, but he made me cry too much because I couldn't do it. So I became the lead vocal, and now he and Garrett have built the harmony around what we sound like. So Kalani takes a song that we do, everybody does about Hanale, Hano Hano Hanale, but he's taken it to another level by arranging it, take a simple song, get a pretty beginning, an unreal ending, and then play around in the middle. And that becomes, when people hear it, they know it's a Kalani Flores. Kalani did something to that song. So this is what Kalani did to this song. rolling. Ika ho'o meia I kahuna kai. Kahi ho'ia aike ika nani hano hano hanalei kaua nui. Hano hano hanalei kaua nui. Kaula na wale e kaua o hanalei. E nihi a e nei I nā pali. E ho'opili ana me talaua e. Me he ipo nohe nohea I ka poli. Kahuene maino ake kai. Me he ala e I mai ana. E ho I mai no. Kauala e pili. Kaualoku kaulana o hanalei. Kaualoku kaulana o hanalei. So you take a regular song and you embellish it. But growing up, I enjoyed listening to the music of Kalani Flores with the Paradise Serenaders because their harmonies were unique. They were so unique that I thought I'll never sound like that. Because they didn't have just 1, 2, 3 part harmony. They had harmonies all over the place. But by taking the voices, whoever Kalani works with, we can sound like that. And we can't believe that we do it, but we do. We do this song also that we'll do Le Lohale Makamai, traditional song. But it's the lyrics, it's the beauty of the words of a tender love song. Hoi mai kaua, hoi mai e pili e auhi. Ko aloha kau, ko aloha kau, e hipoi ne, hipoi mauno, nā kaua kau, nā kaua kau. Songs nowadays are so modern, reggae-ish, and that's cool. That's their own, thing. But with music like this, we can explain about the lyrics. We can explain about the power of the word, and there's so much love. And then you take your voice, and then you add it to the mix, and you see people tenderly caress one another at the club and really get into the music. They might not know what all the words mean, but through the vocal, don't you feel like you're all in love all over again? And the compassion that comes from the people who wrote these songs many, many years ago, that you can still feel the love. And if you educate the people that are coming, they'll know that there's more to Hawaiian music than Tiny Bubbles, thank you, Uncle Don, Pearly Shells, Grass Shack. I mean, those are all songs, and I play them all the time, so people will enjoy what they want to hear, but then open their hearts and minds to real Hawaiian music that have beautiful lyrics. That and when you combine the voices and the instrumentation, it's so wonderful. And with Kalani and his musical compositions that come up. Those are songs that are going to be around for a while. and it's up to the young people nowadays to continue to write music so that we can have Pleniada Kalani Flores later on running around. And, you know, so that's what I feel when I'm singing. My English name is Lynn, which not very many people know. My name is Lynn Ipo Kahaunaele and now Ferreira. Born and raised on Kauai. My parents are David Kalaunui Kahaunaele Sr. and my mother is Marjorie Lynette Kanani Panui Kahaunaele. My dad's family's roots are in Anahola Village, and my mom's mom is from Kalihi, down right on the beach area there. We still have the home down there. And born and raised here, went to Kapaa School and went through elementary, then through the Coast Guard, got shifted to many other schools, and then finally came home in my junior year and graduated the class I started out with. So when I came home, that's when I wanted to play music. So I started with the Kapaa School Choir, and that's how we got chorale music going. But
Those are Renee Tronis.
yes,
Wow.
Renee Tronis. And many of the people in her chorus have gone on to record. There's quite a few that have gone on to record. From high school, I went to Wailua River, the Academy of Learning How to Entertain. I think every Kauai musician who is here, the river, you go, that's one of the stepping stones to see if you can play and actually entertain people not from here. I don't care what Hawaiian you are, if you have played Hawaiian music, you always gonna come back to the roots of sitting down in a backyard by a tree to play ukulele and remember that you're Hawaiian. Because, you know, get all these hoku winners and stuff. When they come Kauai, where they like to be? Down the beach, under a pine tree, and writing and creating. So I wonder if other people have that backyard. What is backyard music? You know, it's a term. When you say that in Hawaii, everybody knows. We've seen it evolve, the music from backyard to now. And
well, backyard, it had to change because back then was more nahi because people were dying from work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's like party, sleep all day.
Well, in Honolulu, there ain't very many backyards anymore. You're in a condominium lanai kind of thing. There aren't very.
Covenants after 10 o'clock at night.
Yes, so there's many things that are not the same as before, but still people get together in garages like at Kalani's house, or people will get together at a party and make new friends and jam and that kind. So who's not a Kalani Flores now? So we're fortunate. And well, you know what? We stay on his band list, so how good is that?
we there. Coffee and water now.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Mahalo nui loa, Uncle Kalani and Lady Ipo, for sharing your stories and music. And a big mahalo also to Garrett Santos and Poncho Graham for letting me be in the Kalani Flores Band today. Mahalo. What you've seen and heard is just a tiny part of the wonderful melodies and memories that these Kauai musicians and their families shared with the Kauai Historical Society. Everyone participating heartily agreed that Hawaiian backyard music is not just a repertoire of old songs. As Sam Mahuiki said,
backyard music for me is a lifestyle. You gotta get the gang there, then maybe grab instruments, or somebody take off on something and hope it touches everybody.
We hope that this documentary is the first step in preserving Hawaiian backyard music as it is sung and played here on Kauai.
If you don't document what's going on now, nobody gonna know about it.
Mahalo nui loa to the musicians and their ohana who have made the videotaping sessions so enjoyable. Also to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs for the grant that made this possible, as well as other corporate and individual donors. Proceeds from the sales of this DVD will assist the Kauai Historical Society in carrying out its mission of preserving and perpetuating the history of Kauai and Niihau. Mahalo nui loa.